Morning, me again. About to go and get the monster somewhere in the field, I think. It's 5 o'clock. No, that's not as early as some people get up. But it's an early start for me, and I'm not a morning person. It's event day. Sadly, I am not one of those people that bounds out of bed on event day, or any other day for that matter. Here he comes, slowly wandering in. It's like, I've got plaits in, I've got my full neck rig on. It's earlier than normal for breakfast. Pretty sure this is not just coming in for some food. So is the actual meal more attractive than whatever it is she's going to make me do right now? He generally decides the food is more attractive, which is helpful. But he does consider it quite a lot and slowly. Which, you know, I don't generally leave loads of time for faffing before we need to leave. But equally, I'm too knackered, somewhat lazy this morning to go in and get him. So he is still meandering. Peri takes even longer. Partly because he knows he generally has to wait until His Highness gets his feet done and checked over and all of that malarkey. Right, you gonna come in? Have your breakfast? Are you? Is it worth it? Yeah, but only just. Only just. I don't know if you can hear the swallows in the background, but they are also not happy at this ungodly hour of being woken up. OMG. I've just managed to stab myself, and I seriously stabbed myself with the little file I was using because my brain's not functioning yet, and I had it in my gob when I went to wipe my face. Stupid. Hurts quite a lot. Anyway, sure, it'll be fine. So I am a little bit caffeinated. I have to say, this is one of my essential tools for any horse thing. So yeah, somewhat caffeinated, feeling slightly better than I was first thing. Pretty sure my audience is loving the drive this morning, given that I have been practicing the dressage test, but not just the actual, like, what are the movements I need to do, how I'm going to ride every single bit of it, because I've decided that with my adult brain, the more I tell myself how I'm going to ride it, not just I go up the line and round and etc., the more it might sink in. We'll see. So I've also been, I haven't seen the show jumping yet, obviously, but I have been talking through how I'm going to ride the show jumping again, just hoping that it helps sink in to my brain. The more I say it, the more it becomes a reality. And then I've been looking at the cross-country course because really helpfully, it's on the cross-country app. So I've been looking at the cross-country course and trying to visualise riding the jumps again. Not just the looking at them, but talking through how I think I'd approach them and things to have a think about. There's one jump that's particularly interesting because it looks quite straightforward, just like a little palisade through a hedge or something, but it's got an alternative which would suggest it's more technical, tricky than it looks. So it'll be interesting to see that in real life. Course looks really nice and definitely doable if I make sure I ride everything. So I need to basically give him the confidence to get over the jumps. So fingers crossed. I have 3 aims today. The first aim is the most important. Don't really care if anything else. I just want to complete the course, which is a low bar, I appreciate, given it's little 80, and we're more than capable technically. But yeah, so I complete it. And then second aim is complete it clear in the jumping phases, or at least one of the jumping phases. I'd take one. And then third aim, building up on these, this would be the like hat trick aim, is try and get a better score than 51.5 in the dressage. I mean, that surely should be doable unless he's on it again. So that's the warm-up area. A couple of jumps it looks like for the 80 for us to practice. So start box. Up to jump 1, uphill, so I'm getting moving on a bit. Right, we're on reds. I guess it's an unaffiliated. I need to remember red. Kick him over that. Nice rustic cart thing. Just again need to riding forward to it, and then we go up the hill to that step. So slightly bring him back for this because it's a step up, but also we go a sharp left after. So we come from that one up here, and then we need to go to that one, which looks like it's down in a dip. So we get to here. Need to make sure I go wide enough for him to see it and prep for it. All right, slightly downhill and then slightly uphill. I need to go after that one in the dip. Need to swing a left again to get straight for this one, going into the woods. And then we go through the woods, which he should be fine with, but I am not going to be complacent about it. Slight drop here. Just need to make sure I'm sitting back on him. And then we head towards that fence there. Come down there. Make sure I'm going wide enough here to line up with this next one. Just kick on for that one. Ground feels nice at the moment, although it has had quite a bit of rain overnight and it's a bit drizzly today. But this is only the second time I've jumped him. Oh no, third time I've jumped him cross country without shoes on. And the first time when it's been wet. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be alright. It's more me kind of thinking about it. I need to not interfere and faff. Just feel if he's staying steady or not. Right. So come round. And then just going to need to ride this one very positively because I think he'll back off from this one. It's a bit uphill, a bit upright, quite solid. And then we head again. Quite a like, I don't know if technical is the right word, but need to keep swinging round and balancing to get the lines right, I think, which hopefully I'll be able to do in terms of him listening to me. But we need to come around from that last one and then straighten up to this bank, step up, step down, and then we step up here. You might have a bit of a low. Oh, there's lots of bright horse licks buckets. So, alright, good run here, slightly downhill from way up there. Just see the bank, all the way down to the right one of those three. We're heading to a little cart thing, which it should be alright with. log in the distance. Nice, decent sized log through the hedge onto flat ground. And then we come from this one, again round, round, round to over there past the portaloo, which you might well look at. Next one, get him straight, slight uphill, make sure he doesn't run out to the left, but also need to bring him back for the barrels. And then I need to stay out enough so stay out, and start to turn him here, make sure you can see it, The second one is quick, so I need to get him active in terms of getting over it, but also slightly, say angled, but I don't think we're even going to bother trying with that. We'll just see if we can get over it first time. We are going to get over it first time. And there we go. So, get over that one. It's a bit bent upright one, but just keep my leg on and going over it. Need to land that and then swing. Just gone the wrong way, so good job I've got the map on cross country out to that one there, which is slightly uphill. But nice log, just keeping going forward, I think. That is the alternative for this next jump, which I couldn't work out why we need one, but I'll soon see. There's a tiny little step down here. A little bit muddy, but you should be alright. Right, I've just worked out why we need the alternative. So, run up the hill, there, all the way over to there. And it depends whether he speaks or backs off, because he's quite chunky. So otherwise, there, and then down to that little step. Over that one, and then you need to make sure you kind of like hang her left, or we could go straight in that one actually. Yeah, that one makes sense. So come straight off this to the left of that jump through the water, and hopefully straight through the water. And then finished. Woohoo! Right, so glad I had the map on the cross country app, because I was going wrong a few times. And also really glad I did a proper walk, which I know I'd always do. Because there were some things on the cross country app that I was like, oh, I wonder why they need that. Now I see. So the main one I think is that quite big ski jump thing, which isn't necessarily an undoable jump, but it's uphill, it's quite sticky in terms of the mud just before, so it's whether I'd be better off doing the alternative, because it's not going to make that much difference time wise, and I just want to get round. Let's start with the dressage. So last time we competed, we got a magnificent 51.5. So, you know, I was hoping we'd beat that. He still was a bit of an idiot. I went into the warm-up thinking I'll give him a little bit longer to see if he settles, and I had a plan to just keep him moving, lots of transitions and like circles and serpentine, etc., just to keep him hopefully focused on me. Kind of worked. It was all right at the start, although he was very lucky at everything. And then he just like lost it a bit, and he was bronking into the canter, and as I was trying to settle him, he was just bronking both reins. No reason for it. And then after that, he was when I was asking him to trot, he was bouncing around because he was thinking we were going into canter. He was just getting himself worked up. So I just walked him around on a very loose rein before we went into the arena, and then he felt very tense when we walked around the outside of the arena. I tried to do a bit of trot and just a couple of little circles, and he was very excitable then. Like an idiot, I forgot to pick up my dressage test. I'm going to have to add that to my checklist for competing. So I'm just going to talk through a little bit of how it felt. And I think it's fair to say the overriding feel for how this test rode was tense and a little bit like sitting on an unexploded bomb waiting for him to go off. So looking at it, I'd say that is totally reflected in the movements. I feel like, and the day I felt like I was just riding him backwards, just trying to hold him, trying to sit quietly and just cope with it, if I'm honest. So it is not pretty, and he doesn't look like he's enjoying it. And I suspect we had quite low marks. Well, I know we had low marks for a lot of it, given the end score, which I won't spoil the anticipation for everyone. But yeah, I mean, looking at that, I think it's fairly evident. We probably got lots of comments like tension and disobedience, as we did on the last dressage test. And yeah, he basically exploded into the canter with lots of bronks and kicks, and I just sat and undoubtedly rode backwards rather than forwards, like I should have done. It is chucking it down with rain, and he is a fair weather horse, so he definitely rides worse in worse weather, but even so. Then we go into canter again, slightly less, well, I was going to say slightly less exuberance. I don't know if that's true, actually. He didn't explode into it, but we had the hijinks that we had last time. And then finally, it's nearly over. We are coming up to the halt, which is pretty awful also. We get a 43.5, so better than last time. That's one of my goals completed for today. Doing better than 51.5. Yay! We then walked out of the arena on a long rein. Like, he was totally chill after that. It's like he works himself up to go into the test. And I don't know if it's me. Maybe it is me. Maybe I'm getting worked up about it or getting nervous about it. We then went to do the show jumping, which was a really nice course on an arena. And he jumped really, really lovely in the warm-up. He was really careful, and he was excited. He was excited, which is fair enough. He loves his jumping, but he was listening to me quite well. There was a couple of moments where he didn't want to come back, but he did. But I think I was probably aware of that, because we went into the show jumping arena and I think I probably held him a bit too much. So we got some really good jumps, but there were also some where I was just keeping hold of him way too much and kind of buried him into the base of them, and bless him, he jumped everything and he tried so hard for me, considering. And this is one of the lines where I think I was too cautious about that distance and held him and basically buried him. Oh, and then we come to the double. Now, for anyone who's been watching any of my videos, you'll know that I have a thing about doubles and I generally stop us at them, but we hesitated. I very nearly stopped us at it, I think, but bless him, he jumped it for me very deep. He knocked it because I got him in so deep, and then he rescued us from it. And then I also got that distance totally wrong, so we got that one down because I got him into it again. But then we're coming round to the last. Yay! We've completed without stopping. Woohoo! And then we went into cross-country warm-up, and that was quite sticky. Well, I think that was second to last to jump or something like that. So then I just walked around the start box a couple of times and then trotted round and in for the countdown, and then out we went. It was quite a tricky course, and it was there were some questions, there were some bigger kind of full-up jumps, there were some tricky lines, so it was really, really, for an 80, I thought it was really, really good course. And although some of them he was a bit unsure of, he absolutely went for me when I asked him to. So he got close sometimes, and we had a few dodgy lines. We had a bit of drifting. Again, he was napping back to the other horses and the warm-up area and where the lorries and the trailers were. So I had to really get him back to me, and to be honest, they genuinely didn't know if we were going to make it because it was on such a bad line, but I was determined he was going over it, and he did. Feels like we are really getting into a great rhythm and agreement in terms of the pace and the adjustability, so very responsive at coming back when I'm asking him to, which means I feel much more confident about letting him go.
5, So we were going really well, and then this is where I went wrong. So in the course walk, I thought we were heading to those 3 over there. We weren't. We were supposed to be going to that little log pile and then to that 3. So I actually went through to those 3, realised I was at number 10 and missed number 9. Not quite sure how my brain did that, but anyway, there's hope, obviously. So then I came back to number 9 and jumped that and then onwards. He jumped the rest of these beautifully and I was feeling really, really confident. Even those barrels, he bobbed over nicely. So then we came to this fence that we had an alternative for. And my original plan was to go on the alternative, that little spotty log thing, because it wasn't going to be that much more time and because I wanted to have a confident filling kind of round. But because we were jumping so well, I decided to go for it. However, I'm not entirely sure my confidence stroke commitment was actually as strong as I should have had it, because it was very sticky, like really, really muddy right in front of that ski jump, which was the first time we'd jumped in that sort of condition before. And I should have really ridden him strongly to help him have both the right sort of impulsion to get through it and over the jump, but also because he was backing off it because he was like, oh, this is a bit, yeah. And we had a stop. So very annoyed with myself. However, we came back round and then we flew over it. And then straight over the log, through the water and home.
Tired little puppies. I don't even know if we can see Rosie. Where is she? Oh, there she is. They're very tired. As am I. So this is the face of someone who feels like she got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but has been running on adrenaline since, as is always the case with a one-day event. Well, adrenaline and caffeine, obviously, and sugar, to be fair. Sugar, lots of sugar. But this is also the face of a very, very happy rider. So pleased with my boy. So my 3 goals: complete it, big tick; improve the dressage score, tick; and go clear in at least 1, hopefully 2 of the jumping phases. And what I should have said when I said that is, as in not stop. So at the minute, I don't mind us getting poles down, particularly when I'm like asking him to do ridiculous takeoffs and he's still doing it. It's making sure we don't stop. So I am dead chuffed with that. I went clear as in no stops in the show jumping, tick. So we are improving in every phase. It was so much fun. We both loved it, apart from the dressage, but the jumping we loved. I think we both feel loads more confident. It was loads of fun, and it feels like we are much more consistent. So I feel like today has been a 5 again. I said that at the last event, but I do. It's been a fantastic day. We've improved and hit the goals that I was after. So even though on paper people will probably think, really? A 5? With a 43.5 dressage, a 12 for show jumping, and about a 60 odd for cross country in terms of penalties. But yes, that is a massive achievement for us. So I am saying it's a 5, and had a blast. So that's it. Signing off now. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one, hopefully. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please do like, comment, and subscribe.